fishingfloridawater.com episode, we're going to be talking about rigging up your pole for freelining. So freelining is basically when you do not add a sinker to your line. There's a few ways, a few different knots you could use. Personally, the knot of my choice is just a double uni knot, which is where you can combine your mono leader to your main line. So a lot of you all may already be using mono on your reel itself. So currently on this setup that I have here, I have braid for my main line, and then I run a mono leader to connect to that line that's already on the reel. So I'm going to walk you through how I do this whole process. So I'm going to start off by first, assuming you already have braided line, because I highly recommend you use braided line if you can. But if not, I mean, freelining, you probably could still do this. It's just going to be a little bit tougher, I think, probably to do with mono to mono. I've never really tried to tie a mono leader to a mono leader, or a mono main line to mono before. So if you manage to do that, cool beans. So anyways, line cutters, you'll need snippers of some kind to cut the line if you don't already have line cutter ready. And I'll talk to you a little bit about my setup that I have here. So the setup I'm running here with for the fishing reel, this, depending on the leader you want to go with, depends on the line you have on your reel is my ideal. So for example, I have a 65-pound braid for this reel that I was just showing you. Most people say, why are you going so short or so light on the leader and you have like a heavier line? Why don't you go a heavier leader and your line be a lot lighter? The problem I have with that is, and then I've noticed is that, for example, if I'm using an 80-pound leader like this, it's thick, and the leader is pretty thick on this, so it doesn't make for the best amount of wraps on your braid. So it kind of looks a little bad. If you're gonna do like a FG knot, which I'm not gonna make this all, try not to make this complicated, but there's a bunch of different knots you can use. Personally, like I said, I stick with the double uni knot. So for the sake of this video, you can play around with different types of leader if you want. This one here is 40 pounds of mono, and I'm gonna do a double uni knot to the main line on the reel. And the reason I prefer to do this is because, well, for one, I can get more wraps on the leader. And I like to also go, some people like a longer leader, but I find that what'll happen is if you're not careful, the longer the leader is, the harder it'll be for you to cast under certain circumstances. So this is probably about almost 2.5 feet, 3 feet long. So anyways, I don't know how well y'all be able to see this here, but what we're going to do is, and this is probably one of the hardest things to show on the camera, and for me to do this because of the fact that I'm trying not to cough on the camera here. So what I like to do is I take the braided line and I loop it over the mono line here. And if I cut out through the videos, it's because I'm coughing. So I try to cut out the coughing parts. I apologize. Anyways, you might be able to see this right here. So I try to do as many wraps as I possibly can with this. I don't even know how well y'all can even see this on the camera, if you can even see what I'm doing at all. Let's see what we got here. Probably wasn't my best day to do a video, is when I'm kind of sick. Alright, so we're just gonna pull these together but not fully tight. So that's that one, the one knot for the braid to be on the mono there. Now I'm gonna pull this one to wrap around on the braid, doing the same thing here. Just kind of loop around. Then I'm gonna take try to get my mono here to cooperate with me. With the wind, it doesn't make this easy to do out here. Not one of the easiest things to do when it's windy out. So hopefully you all can see what we're kind of doing here with it's kind of not one of the best videos I would say at all. Because of the fact that it's probably because of the video, so the tie is so far away. But anyways, we're gonna bring these two together just like that there. You got to be careful with the knot that goes from the mono, because if the mono knot is bigger than the knot for the braid, what you'll have a problem here with is that the actual fish bite could cause you to have the knot slip over the braid knot, and then you lose your fish. So I like to pull a little saliva, cuts down on the friction burn from the two knots connecting together, kind of like that there. And then this hopefully should be good for my double uni knot. So I'm just going to cut the tag off of this one here. Be careful when you're cutting tags that you don't cut the main tag, the main line, because then you have to redo your knot all over again, and that's kind of brutal. Alright, so that's pretty much the double uni knot there. So now, which is behind the camera there, now we have a knot here which you can't probably see for anything at all. Sometimes your knot will get stuck in the guides too, depending on how big your guide is for your reel. And then so from here, what I would do is I would just simply tie on my hook onto the leader. So for example, I use a number 2 circle hook here. I'll try to snip this off. These are 80 pounds of mono. So anyways, this is an example right here. I'm just gonna run that right through the eye of the hook there, and I just use a simple clinch knot. Everybody else, they use whatever knots they want to use. A clinch knot I haven't had any problems with mono, but sometimes you'll have a high probability of your knot slipping with braid if you use a clinch knot. Not everybody has that problem, but some people do, and it's just something to watch out for. So if you're going to use braid, you might want to just switch over to using a better knot. I have a few knots that I recommend on the website, and that's pretty much it for the leader and the freelining. So now, long story short, what it's going to allow us to do is if we have live bait, like a live shrimp or a pinfish, right? He's not going to be weighted down, hopefully, depending on the size of your hook and the size of the pinfish or bait. He's not going to be weighted down, so he'll be able to swim with the current. And I just want to advise you be cautious around seagulls and pelicans, because when you're freelining, if your bait is on top of the water, that bird will likely go after that bait. If you can keep your bait down at the bottom, you're going to be good. Freelining works great when you're targeting topwater fish, I believe. In my personal opinion, everybody else has their own feelings on that being true or not. But I know I have, when I'm going for snook, for example, a free line is the way I prefer to do it, unless they are big snook that are like sitting on the bottom of the water column, then I try to go for something like a knocker rig, for example. But this here works great for like your live crabs, shrimp, pinfish, greenbacks, maharas, threadfins, any type of live bait you have. This is good for freelining when you don't have a sinker. So basically what we're doing is we're eliminating the sinker. It works. But anyways, hopefully this will help some of y'all who are wanting to know how to freeline your bait and stuff. So that's pretty much how you do it. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe today, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you all for watching.